Good day, everyone. Welcome to set theory. This is our third lesson on this topic. My name is Peter Ohwe. In our first lecture, we introduced the concept of set theory. We defined the universal set. We talked about the elements of a set. We also discussed the complement of a set, and then we analyzed the idea of subsets. In our second lesson, we began to explain with examples the idea of universal set, subsets, and the complements of sets. We talked about the union of sets, the intersection of sets, the concept of Venn diagrams, and we ended that lesson by applying Venn diagrams to problems. In today's lesson, we shall be looking at Venn diagrams as we use Venn diagrams to solve problems. This is our third and final lesson. We recommend that you look up the first two lessons so that you can get a proper grasp of today's lesson. Problem 1. In a class of 100 students, 60 of them offer music and 50 offer French. If each student offers at least one of the two courses, how many students offer both courses? Only music, only French, exactly one of the two courses. It is important to take note of the statement that says if each student offers at least one of the two courses, how many students offer? That is important because there could be questions where students do not offer either of the two courses. So we take note of that statement, which says if each student offers at least one of the two courses. Our solution. The universal set is represented by the rectangle, and there are 100 people, 100 students in this particular example. This universal set has two subsets. The first subset is the number of students that offer music, and that is represented by the circle. There are 60 students that offer music. On the other hand, there are 50 students that offer French, represented by this second circle. Bringing the two circles into the universal set, we see that there is an overlap, and that region of overlap represents students that offer both music and French. Therefore, X will be the portion representing students that offer both courses. 0 will be students that offer neither of the two courses. The number of students that offer only music is shown by 60 minus X, while the number of students that offer only French is given by 50 minus X. We therefore have 4 possibilities. These possibilities are number of students that offer only music, 60 minus X. 2, number of students that offer only French, 50 minus X. Number of students that offer both courses, X. And number of students that offer neither of the two courses, 0. Adding up these four possible subsets, we end up with 60 minus x plus 50 minus x plus 0 gives us 100. And then 110 minus x plus x minus x is equal to 100. If plus x and minus x cancel out each other, we'll be left with 100 minus x is equal to 100. And our final answer will be 10. Therefore, 10 students offer both music and French. Question 2. How many students offer music only? That will be 60 minus x. Since x is 60 minus 10 will give us 50. Therefore, there are 50 students that offer music only. Similarly, the number of students that offer French only is given by 50 minus x. If we take 10 out of 50, we are left with 40. So 40 is the number of students that offer French only. The number of students that offer exactly one course will be those that offer music only plus those that offer French only. And that will be 60 minus x plus 50 minus x. If we add up these numbers, our answer will be 90. Problem 2. A hypothetical survey of 200 internet users revealed that 150 make use of YouTube, 120 make use of Twitter. If 20 use neither of the two platforms, how many use 1, both platforms, 2, only YouTube, 3, only Twitter, 4, exactly one of the platforms, and 5, at least one of the platforms. You can pause this video and attempt the questions. Note that you are allowed to use any other method to solve this problem. But we are going to stick to using Venn diagrams. Welcome back. The universal set in this problem contains 200 people. So we represent the universal set with the symbol mu. Therefore, the number of individuals in mu, which is the universal set, or U if you like, is 200. Let Y represent YouTube and T represent Twitter. Moving forward, we see that there are two subsets. T for Twitter, which is 120, Y for YouTube, which is 150, and then we have X representing those that use both of the two platforms. The region 150 minus X represent those that use YouTube only. These are those that use YouTube but not Twitter. While 120 minus X is for those that use Twitter but not YouTube. And finally, there's that category of people who use neither of the two platforms. These are 20. Adding up all the subsets, end up with Y intersection T, which is X. Everything gives us 150 minus X plus 120 minus X plus 20. That gives us 200. These are the four possible subsets. If you add up the numbers, you arrive at 290 minus X plus X minus X. If you cancel out the X's, you have 290 minus X is equal to 200. and then your X will be 90. Therefore, 90 people use both platforms. Question 2. Find the number of people that use only YouTube. The region 150 minus X represent those that use only YouTube. If we take 90 away from 150, we end up with 60. Similarly, the number of people that use only Twitter, represented by 120 minus X, will give us 30. Lastly, on this problem, the number of people that use exactly one of the two platforms will be determined by adding 150 minus X to 120 minus X. And this will give us 30. The number of people that use at least one of the two platforms, this is the very last question, can be found by adding up the three sections. Those that offer only YouTube, at least one of the two platforms indicate. Those that use YouTube only, those that use Twitter only, and then those that use both of them. We begin with those that use YouTube only, and that's 150 minus X. Then we add those that use both platforms, which is X. And finally, those that use Twitter but not YouTube, which is 120 minus X. If we add up the three, our result will be 180. To our very last problem. Once again, we recommend that you watch the first lesson and the second lesson so that you can get full value from this third lesson. 60 women were interviewed and the following results were obtained. 39 of the women watched football, represented by F. 28 watched tennis, T. And 29 watched basketball, B. In addition, 12 watched tennis and basketball, T intersection B. 17 watched tennis and football, T intersection F. 14 watched basketball and football, B intersection N. Note that this problem has 3 subsets. Our first question: if 5 women watch all 3, how many women watch tennis and football only? Question 2: how many watch tennis and football only? 3: how many watch basketball and football only? 4: how many watch football only? 5: how many watch basketball only? 6: how many women watch tennis only? 7: how many women watch exactly 2 of the 3 sporting events? Maybe I should take a moment to explain 7. 2 of the 3 sporting events refer to those that watch 2 events only, plus those that watch 3 events only. But we are going to take away those that watch 3 events only because of the word exactly. So if it says, how many women watch at least 2 of the 3 sporting events, like we have in number 10, at least 2 of the 3, then we'll be looking at those that offer 2 events only, and then those that watch the 3 events. Number 8 says exactly 1 of the sporting events. This refers to those that watch just football, just basketball, and just tennis. And then number 9, at least 1 of the 3 will be made up of those that offer football only, basketball only, tennis only. That's 1 category. They will add up those that watch exactly 2 of the events: football and basketball, football and tennis, football, tennis and basketball. And then those that watch the 3. So there's a lot to do in this problem. You can pause this video now and then try out this problem and then return to it afterwards. A quick analysis of the problem will drive home the question. The universal set consists of 60 people. 39 of them watch football. Out of these 39, you could have people that watch tennis and basketball also. 28 watch tennis, of which some of them watch football and basketball. And then 29 watch basketball. Some of those 29 watch also tennis and football. Further down, the number of women that watch tennis and basketball is 12. But it is possible there could still be some of them that watch all three sporting events. Similarly, the number that watch tennis and French is 17. Basketball and football is 14. And then those that watch tennis, basketball, and football is 5. Using Venn diagrams makes it a lot easier. It was very difficult getting those things, together. But with the Venn diagram, we are able to see how these things relate. We begin with the universal set having 60 women. And then F representing football, 39 women that watch football. Then 28 women watch tennis and 29 watch basketball. But there are 12 women that watch both tennis and basketball. 12. 17 watch tennis and football. 14 watch basketball and football. And like we said earlier, 5 watch tennis, basketball, and football. Using our Venn diagrams more closely, since we have 3 subsets, we can generate the power of the set. The power of a set is determined by the number of subsets, n, and using the expression 2 raised to power n. So the formula 2 raised to power n, where n is the number of subsets, tells us how many possible subsets can be found in that universal set. So since n is 3, we have 8 possible subsets. These subsets are tennis and basketball only, represented by I. Tennis and football only, I. Basketball and football only, I. Football only, F. Basketball only, B. Tennis only, T. All 3, X. None of the 3, Y. So, question 1 says, how many women watch tennis and basketball only? We are told that X is 5, women that watch all 3 sporting events. We are also told that 12 of these women watch tennis and basketball. Tennis and basketball is the sum of I and X. Tennis and basketball, the sum of I and X. So, if we move downwards, realizing that I plus X is tennis and basketball, and knowing that X is equal to 5, then tennis and basketball only will be 12 minus 5. We end up with 7 women that watch just tennis and basketball. Question 2. How many women watch tennis and football only? Looking at the region representing tennis and football, F 39 and T 28, we realize that women that watch only football and tennis can be derived by first considering the fact that X is 5, and then that 17 women watch tennis and football, indicated by II plus X. So how do we get II? II will be 17 minus X, where X is 5. Therefore, the number of women that watch tennis and football will be 17 minus 5, which gives us 12. Question 3. How many women watch basketball and football only? Recall that X is equal to 5. And that 14 women watch basketball and football, which is III plus X. Then basketball and football only will be II, which will be equal to 14 minus X. Since X is 5, 14 minus X will give us 14 minus 5, which is 9. Our next question is, how many of these women watch only football? Represented by F. Note that football has 39 women. But if you look at the circle representing football, you will notice that that circle has some subsets in it. These subsets are III, X, II, and F. Therefore, F will be 39 minus the sum of the other sets, II, and X. So if we take away II, and X, or alternatively, if we add up those three values and then we subtract it from 39, we'll see that adding them up will produce 12 for II, 9 for III, 5 for X. The sum of this will be 26. Therefore, 39 minus 36, 26, will give us 13. In the same way, if we want to get the number of women that watch only basketball, we represent only basketball using letter B. We find out that B, capital B in this case, is 29. And it consists of 4 possible values, I, X, and B. If we will get B, it would be wise to add the other 3 and then subtract them from 29. So this will give us 7 plus 9 plus 5. Take that away from 29, and that will give us 8. Only tennis. Once again, you can pause the video, see how that will work for you, considering the example for B. Great. I hope that went well. So we'll find T. If we're able to get T, then we can go ahead and attempt questions 7 to 12. Remember that this is our third and final lesson on set theory. I recommend strongly that you watch the first video, the second video, and then this video. Try out these questions. Send your answers to PRO10@yahoo.com or PRO101@gmail.com. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you.